There we go. I do believe we're live. And this time, with good audio again. What a dear pleasure it is to have you, friends, here with me on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider the significance we apply. That is the general gist of what I want to touch on today. I did share a little bit of this topic yesterday as we went on our adventure, but I still feel like it is a topic that deserves a whole stream of its own. The way I titled the stream is MeltMore Applied His Significance to the World? Something like that, right? Let me see. Hey, Lucy! It's going super well. Even better with you here with us. Thank you for finding yourself here. I'm still waiting for my notification to come through. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s, zeros? Bzz, bzz. Can someone bzz, bzz me up? I refresh. I refresh again. Pain. It might be because I'm logged out of my original account. There we go. Hey, we got it. We're live. It's nice to have you friends here. Hey, Xiao. It's nice seeing your highs here with me. Holding you so. Oh, there's my goal button. Nice. Share how you'll celebrate. I'll host a Q&A session. Pick a goal, 10 super chats. I'll do a 1 super chat for as little money as possible for the next 1 hour. I'll do a little dance. Yeah. Let me just add that. I haven't actually used this feature, but I want to see what it looks like. That happens. Singing bowl is good for meditation. Did you? You're kind of freaking me out a little bit, Lucifer. Did you see on my tablet screen what I was on last? Like literally, check this. Like there's the video I just clicked on, and that was the last video that was playing. Literally a video of singing bowls where I was doing meditations. I'm just coming out. I mean, I did kind of talk about it yesterday, and it was what inspired today's stream topic. This whole fractal of the significance, right, that we apply to things. Again, applied his own significance. That you and all of the significance you apply as the self to this world is the exact amount of significance that you get. All right. I'm thinking about it from the perspective of almost like hyping yourself up. You know, that if you don't hype yourself up for this reality, for the day that's ahead of you, for almost like, you know, to say it in so many words, brainwashing yourself a little bit. Everything is possible. Oh, yeah. Like brainwashing yourself a little bit, you know? Like I've had moments where I find myself almost leaning towards a sense of sadness again. And then I almost like, I back up and I go, actually, I'm not sad. Actually, I'm pretty happy. Actually, I have so much to look forward to. Actually, it's a good day. Actually, love is true. And I give myself all of these significances, right, that I might overlook if I find myself disillusioned. Right? It's very easy for us to get a little bit caught up in the world. So, again, today we'll be having a discussion about the significance we apply to things, about the significance we as human beings have in this world, and about the amount of significance that we see in something potentially ordinary. I know that in the psychedelic experience, for example, you can have this deep sense of significance just looking at a rock. looking at a little crystal, having this sense of awe that absolutely like washes over you with the amount of beauty, with the amount of significance of how long it took, the amount of time it took for that crystal to form in the way that it did, the amount of significance that we apply to eating fruit and the texture thereof, thinking about the hands that had to transport, that had to put the seeds in, that had to harvest those, produce from the land, thinking about the significance of this world, this earth, this stuff that we are made of, right? The significance that we are part and parcel to the earth, that if we had to sample all of the stuff that we're made of, and we had to sample the surface of the earth, we will find that there is a synchronicity, there is a similarity in the stuff that we are and the stuff that the earth is. And I wonder, what do we say? What do we call that significance we feel? How can we cultivate more of that significance in our lives? And how has this significance been explored in the past? Is there something that can be said about it?
Hello, meow meow. Hello, Shabby Shabby.
Look at this little kitty kitty.
You want to say hi? You want to say hi to us, little meow meow?
No? You just want to pass by? Okay, suit yourself. Just wants to be in the space, Don't touch me. I'm just gonna be here and present and stuff. It's nice having your friend here. Hey there, cutie. How are you today? One question I wanted to ask yesterday before you went offline so early is, did Christian persuade his girlfriend of the crab mating dance? No, I think he persuaded her with being hot, probably. He was on, I think, Bumble? I know apparently Tinder is trash these days. Last time I had Tinder on my phone was 2019. 2018, 2019. So apparently these days it's super bad. So people aren't using that one anymore, at least here in South Africa. And I think Bumble is the new one. I'm like bumbling in trying to figure out which one it is. And they basically matched up and they started talking on there. And I think that's as much as I know. I want to make YouTube shorts. Do that, Crizel. YouTube shorts are pretty popular these days. People do like themselves some YouTube shorts. You'll probably have a few eyes willing to see. And hey, Joe, how are you today? All good in the US and A. Hendrik, Crizel, howdy friends. Love to you, dear show. That sounds reasonable. He is hot, and that's coming from a straight male. It's true. He does have a lot going for him. I feel like that is one of the things that was like messing with him. Like I've been friends with him since 2017 for a long time, right? And since 2017, the man's been single essentially. Like he has been in a relationships for a few times, but it doesn't last long. And then he finds himself single again, and then he goes through this existential dread of like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to find anyone. So I'm happy that he does have someone to love right now. We have Panzerkampfwagen Tiger B. What's up, homie? It's Punchwagen. The German war machine. Hey, it's nice to have you here. I appreciate you joining us with whatever name you choose. But do know that I like weapons as much as the next person, being like, but I rarely talk about them because they do not really stimulate my mind in a way where I feel good. Also, I don't know who that is. What I do know, however, is that we find ourselves aligned with a certain topic. Today's topic is the significance we apply to things, right? And how the significance we apply to the things is directly related to the significance that we are in this world. And today, the significance we're applying is to the significance of applying. You know what I mean? So we're going to be exploring. All is well in the world. I see. Everything is neutral until we focus out our awareness and assign that meaning. Exactly, Rachel. Assign our meaning. That's exactly what we're talking today about. Thank you for showing up with your neutrality and choosing to see lovingly. All right. What a beautifully rich and meaningful thread to pull on today. This question of significance, this way it arises in us, and how we respond to it. At its heart, what you're describing is a kind of sacred attention. It's not about the object being special in and of itself, but about the quality of our presence with it. Psychedelics, spiritual practices, extended periods of silence, intense emotions, and even certain states of exhaustion or awe can crack open that doorway. When we suddenly feel the weight and the wonder of things that normally pass by unnoticed. Yeah, there's some broadness. I'm just going to continue giving my significance to the significance of the conversation. Where you suddenly feel the weight of wonder that normally that we feel. Historically, cultures, the sublime, the mystery, I think that's how you say it, mindfulness. The sacred. In traditions, anything imbued with deep significance becomes sacred. It's not that the rock, the fruit, or the breath is inherently different from anything else, but that we are seeing it with new eyes. This is why indigenous cultures often bless their food, their rivers, their mountains, not as superstition, but as a relationship. The sublime. Philosophers like Kant and Burke spoke of the sublime vastness, power, or time, like standing under a starry sky or witnessing a storm where the mind can't quite grasp, the heart feels it. I feel like that really is kind of like what we are talking about today, right? It's kind of like this fractal of significance. Again, oh, I'm loading. Great. Thank you, dear Zhao, for letting me know that it's loading. I do appreciate that. I should be back again. All right, I'm going to read this little bit again because I feel like it is nice. The philosophers, like Kant and Burke, I might be saying that incorrectly. Better. Thank you, Zhao. I really do appreciate you helping me like that. Thank you so much. Spoke of the sublime as a feeling invoked by vastness, power, or time, like standing under a starry sky or witnessing a storm where the mind can't quite grasp the totality, but the heart can feel it still. Right? Like I'm looking at a dove right now, right? And I am technically seeing that dove in its totality. It's right in front of me as it is completely, right? However, there is that dove being a baby bird at one point, that dove being in an egg at one point, and that egg hatching, and that mother feeding that little baby that came out of that egg, right? Little wormies, little pieces of food, little pieces of grain, I don't know, probably a bunch of different things, right? And then that bird found itself flying in this environment, eating food, staying alive, and then it took a little rest on that little perch, right? That is me trying to see a little bit more of the totality of that creature. And even then, I fall short in trying to. Morning, gentlemen. I remember me, go Simon Riley. Bless you, friends. It's nice having you here. We're talking about the significance of this reality. And I am going to pretend like I'm a train on a track. And I'm not getting off this track. No matter what, I will move towards the totality of my experience. Good morning to you, Mr. Crocodile. The next one is the mystery, or the mysterium tremendum. As you do, Erudito, a theologian, coined this to describe the awe-inspiring mystery at the heart of religious experience. You silly creature. Right? The heart of religious experience. Terrifying. Beautifully unknown. Yeah, you stink, oh. What have you been eating, bro? That's disgusting. You stink like death. Do you have do we have a troll? No, I'm just getting here. Oh yeah. Sometimes it seems that's ways. Yeah. Terrifying, beautiful, and unknowable. The mysterious tremendum. Then the next one is presence or mindfulness. Something that I feel very few people have these days, right? I feel mindfulness is such a vast thing as well, in the same way, where you have to be mindful to understand the vastness of every single person, to understand the implications of you using your words. I believe so. But it's a bit of a troll, harmless troll, just a bit unfunny. Yeah. Just like a matter of like, oh, yeah. It's like the ignorable kind of troll, right? It's like, I'll just pretend you don't exist kind of vibes, which is kind of depressing to me at least. Right? It's like, I don't really prefer that energy. I like preferring the energy of significance, right? Kind of like seeing the significance of every single person. Ideally, realizing that there is a state of significance in showing up together and applying significance in that way where I feel it is significant that we find ourselves in this space together, right? Like this is special, right? I like feeling special alongside other people. How have you been? It's nice to see you sending love and star, dear Sam. How can we cultivate more of this significance? First, we can slow down. Significance doesn't shout, it whispers. It's in the way the light lands on a leaf. I like the way that feels when you say it. It's in the way the light lands on a leaf. It is. It's true. The way your heart beats after climbing stairs. When we slow down, we allow our awareness to stretch. Jovan, been busy man. It never stops here. What about you? Here comes dog. Exactly. I don't get people like this. I mostly feel sad for them that they feel the need to do stuff like this. It's just like unoriginal, right? Maybe it's kind of original, right? I guess there's some originality into it. It's just like uninspired, I think is the better way to say it, right? And especially uninspired in the way where it doesn't inspire me, right? Maybe the point is to inspire a certain reaction, right? Maybe the reaction can be anger or disappointment or dismay or, a want to change things. But for me, it usually is just this fractal of like, I am the captain of my ship, right? And you can try and mutiny, but I'm the only one that knows how to steer this vehicle. I'm the only one that can. Curate, hey, stop that. Your mouth stinks like death. Don't you think about licking me, you creature. Uh, Curate awe. Spend time with things that are older, vaster, and more complex than your understanding. Stars, fossils, old people, fractals, fungi, and even silence. Give thanks. Gratitude is one of the quickest routes to significance. When we thank the fruit, the seed, the soil, the labor, we align ourselves with the lineage of life. Yeah, I do like that perspective. Gratitude. I actually had that conversation with my mom and sister today. I've shared this perspective before with you friends, this depth of gratitude that I was allowed to experience that went beyond receiving, right? Went beyond ownership, went beyond compliments. That was just a certain sense of, I am grateful simply to be. I gained new injuries, I think. I'm just feeling the pain now. Jovan, love again. Been busy? How was the retreat? The title isn't very forthcoming. Can someone tell me what our topic is today? Significance. Our topic is significance, Sam, and specifically how all of the significance you experience in the world is the significance that you apply. We talked a little bit about it yesterday in light, but I feel we're already 20 minutes in, and I still haven't really unopened this fractal of significance in a way where I feel contented, right? I want to almost feel that significance in this moment, right? Do something simple. Like I did technically like look at the dove. I think that kind of helped. Hey, Nancy, it's nice having you here. Sending you love. Should be illegal being as cute as the doggo, by the way. Kobe cuteness overload. He is a little silly dude. He was super happy to have me back home. It's been nice giving him some petants. Giving thanks. And then, yeah, right, again, I've shared this story before, but one of the most significant moments of my personal life was had with me completely alone in a room with a blanket. Right? And it was literally just the sense of gratitude for the warmth and softness and enveloping that that blanket provided. And this deep sense of gratitude for the fact that I had the ability to be aware of that moment. And I was taken aback by the significance of simply existing to the point where it changed my whole outlook on the rest of my life. It completely transformed the way I thought about this energy of significance in general, to say it in so many words. The retreat was transformative, still integrating everything in. It was what I needed. Now back to the busy buzzing of life with a reminder to practice mindful awareness concurrently. Always. I'm so happy that you did do feel transformed by this energy. And I do hope that in your own way, with your own peace and quiet and significance, that you'll almost like echo these waves of good vibes into your space. I know it is that way, but I can see it. I miss going on retreats, but since I'm self employed, I simply can't anymore time wise. Yeah, that is the one thing about working for yourself, right? Is that your boss is a hard ass. Tell me about it myself. I'm telling. I'm telling right now. Thank you, me. The 1606 significance, so many words say. Always, bro. Words need to be said, feelings need to be felt, progress needs to be made. Hello, Javan. That's great about the retreat. Bless. Glad to hear yours was going great, Joe. By the way, how was the movie yesterday? You went to the movies, I recall correctly. You are, in fact, recalling correctly. Shadow Monarch. Hey, friend. Bro, how are you and why didn't you live stream yesterday? I did live stream yesterday. It was just a very short one, only 15-ish minutes, all right? So, did, but not as long as we're streaming already today. Yesterday, as our dear friend have illuminated, we went to go and watch a movie. We went to watch Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. It was Lilo and Stitch. They changed things that they didn't need to change. They added things that were appreciated. Some things, right? There were some cuts that I did appreciate. But it was so similar that it needed to be more similar, if that makes any sense, right? If they literally, beat for beat, scene for scene, recreated the entire movie exactly as it was animated, I think it would have been better. However, they did not do that. And then, after we watched the movie, and we felt kind of like that about it, no, I'm not, no spoilers, just your rating, 1 out of 10, please. I don't know if I'm spoiling, right? It's like a little bit hard to spoil unless you've seen like the original, unless you haven't seen the original Lilo and Stitch movie. I won't tell any more about the actual movie experience. But then, after we watched the original, we went and we watched the old one, the 2002 movie as well. And it was so good. It was so good. Like I had a better time, in all honesty, watching the original Lilo and Stitch right? So if you are considering spending the money to go and watch the new Lilo and Stitch, you might be better poised to just watch the old Lilo and Stitch, right? I think the CGI was kind of good, right? Like I like the way the aliens look. They look pretty alien, right? And that part satisfies me. I'm like, yeah, aliens. I like aliens a lot, too much maybe, right? Especially good depictions of aliens. It stimulates something in my brain that makes me go, aliens, right? So in that way, I feel it was good enough. However, watching the animated movie, the original afterwards, just reaffirmed to me that the original is the OG. It's gonna stay the OG. It's really good still to this day. It's great about the retreat. So much love. Sometimes I hate my boss, but he's paying my bills. What you gonna do? Gotta love your boss, bro. Especially when it's you. And when Hoopy says words, they're fucking said. It's true. No spoilers. Love you again. Your hair is turning whitish. There's your unk status. Hair is turning whitish. I don't know if it's white. You can probably see my skin through my hair, though. All right. But you're not wrong. I am technically, I have found the first gray hairs on my head. I was out like a whole day about that stuff, bro. Like I was like basically helping mom with some baking, and there's a mirror in there, and then I walked past the mirror, and the way the lighting is in that space, it's very much like side lighting, and then I see this gray hair on me, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like trying to pull at it. I'm like, no, please, no, please, let me. And it didn't want to let go. And then I went and got a tweezer, and I like grabbed it and bah! And then I just like kept carrying it around, like no jokes, probably for 10 minutes. I was carrying it into different spaces, and I was like looking at it in different lights, and I was like, yeah, no, that's a gray hair. That's definitely a gray hair. And then eventually I had to let go of it. You know, I had to be like, okay, okay, fine. I say to the universe. My mom did go gray really early as well, so I definitely do have it in my genes. Nah, that wasn't spoiling. Till now, you're good, but like, okay. I didn't know it was supposed to be basically a one-to-one remake of the animation. It basically is. It wasn't a new Lilo and Stitch movie, right? If you're gonna go in hoping like you're gonna get a brand new Lilo and Stitch experience, then you'll be especially disappointed. I did fortunately watch it with the perspective of I pretended essentially that I haven't seen it before. I pretended like I'm a kid that is now seeing the Lilo and Stitch movie for the first time, right? The same way I did as a 4-year-old watch the 2002 Lilo and Stitch movie. And then after I experienced it, I was like, yeah, if I was a kid, I probably thought that was great. And I kind of communicated that much. And then we unanimously decided that we're going to rewatch the original Lilo and Stitch movie. And then I was like, oh, yeah, this is better. This is better. He can sing it, but he wouldn't sigh it. Moon Knight. I probably missed that message because you wrote singing instead of signing. Moon. I had a gray hair when I turned 22. I loved it actually. It's gone away though. Yeah, mine is also hiding now. It's in hiding. Also, like a stress fluctuation thing. I definitely have been under more stress, and I went through a lot, like copious amounts of stress last year to the point where I probably gained a bunch of new gray hairs just in that year alone. You're now Uncle Melt. Uncle MeltMore, it is. You have been promoted from bro to Uncle More. Hendrik, what's up? Love is true. It's always you again, bro. I haven't said your name yet. Bro, what are you signing? I'm not signing anything. The channel transfer. Agreement. I have it ready. I'm excited to take over your channel. I'm still waiting for first child of working age, right? Uh, working age child, right? At least 18, apparently. I think that's working age these days, right? Strong. needs to be really strong so they can chop wood, carry water, cut grass, paint house. Ideally they can do electrical work as well. Maybe even know how to program. Like pretty much everything. As soon as I get one of those, you can have my channel, bro. Then I'm like, I'll sign off. I'll be like, stretch back, and then I have a kid that does everything for me. All right, but until then, you're gonna have to wait, bro. I'm sorry. It's more like Moon, but no Kappa, no more Zawad. Decent exams, going semi-smooth. On exam vacay now. I'm happy to hear that, Zawad. My sister is also writing her exams right now. You do any meditations? Yeah, I do, Shadow Monarch. Not as much as I would like to. The meditations I've been doing these days has been yoga nidra, and I've been doing them as I've been trying to go to sleep, right? Because as of late, I've been finding myself kind of restless when I try to go to sleep. And the last 3 nights, the last 2 nights, I've been listening to Richard Miller's the I rest yoga nidra practices, and it's been really nice. Hey, I highly suggest I rest yoga nidra. There it is. She's right. It's really good. If you want some meditations, especially meditation before you're gonna go to sleep, it works. That stuff will put you to sleep. Like it's so calming. It's so relaxations. I've been actually like being helped by it a lot. Bro, that's a long period of waiting. Well, guess you're gonna have to start waiting, Moon Knight. Starting now. Starting now, the wait starts. All right. As soon as I got working age chilled. All right, and the last one, no, the last two ones is create rituals. That might be scary, but rituals don't have to be. Simple, repeated acts like lighting a candle or taking a breath before eating or walking the same path daily can become vessels of significance. It's true. My yoga practice, for example, is the exact same practice every single day, right? Without variation. And that might sound boring to you. You might, oh, I want to practice. You can. You can practice other yoga. But my yoga practice, at least the one that I do every day, is the same. And it is very much so with that perspective. It's one of my rituals. One of my daily rituals is to practice that yoga practice. It's 15 minutes of me doing what I call system diagnostics. Can I move like this? Can I move like that? Can I move like this? Can I move like that? Can I move like this? Can I move like that? And then if you go through all of these can I move likes, right, you find almost like a litmus test, a temperature gauge of where it is you are at that state in your day, right? And then I get to almost like absorb that wisdom of like, oh, I'm a little bit stiff. I'm feeling a little bit low energy. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm feeling a little bit unmotivated, right? By practicing the same practice. And it gives me a sense of interception that allows me to add significance to something as simple as 15 minutes of breath and movement. Since you now apparently have Unk status, which means you are basically old, we need a new segment called Story Time, in which you enlighten us with your wisdom you accumulated over the last decades. Decades? Technically, I do have decades, right? But I only have decades since I was a 7-year-old. So I don't know if my wisdoms are gonna be as wise as they could be. All right, you have to give me a few more decades before I got like Unk wisdom. I need to be like at least in my 40s before I feel Unk. All right, being 27, I still feel like I'm too young to be Unk. I mean, technically, am I uncle to someone? Uncle is when your siblings have children. Yeah, I'm still far away from having Unk status technically. All right, still a while away. And if I'm gonna be uncle, it is getting close. Technically, people do have kids these ages, these days. Oh shit, Mel. On that note, don't you have a journal? Or should people set for you? Where is that? I know where it is. You want me to go and get it?
Wanna go get it? You wanna go and get up with me?
I want to go get something. Come. Come. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. 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 How are you? There we like. Surely this is uncomfortable. Zero stability. No, I was like, oh, I can handle this. He says, whatever it takes to be on lap. You silly creature. All right, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go get my book of things worth saying. Ugh. Look. Nothing is ever lost. You silly creature. You first? You on the bed first? Give me a place. There we go. He's like, come on, let me onto the lap. Yes. Maximum insanio styles. You insanios? Are you a little insanio duder? There it is. This book it's been held. Let's see. I open it up and there is like wisdoms upon wisdoms that I've absorbed. Lesson 14. Take time to return to the truth. That's a good one. That is a good one. Do take time. You should. You should be taking time to return to the truth, yo. And the truth, you might be asking, was what that? What's the truth, Melt? And I'll say, the truth is love. It's true. And the truth is love. All right, love yourself. The way of awakening is the most delightful use of time. That's a good one. Become completely aware of the magic all around you and your ability to influence that flow. Yeah, that one relates to today's stream topic, definitely. What are you chewing? What is that? Is that the thing that stinks like that? I don't know what that is, bro. Looks like a stick. I want to go steal it from him. What is that? What is that stuff that you're chewing? Oh, I know. My dad was trying to, it seems, inoculate a tree by taping this thing to it, and then Kobe found it. Like, this is what he was chewing, and it looked disgusting from afar. At least it's only plastic, not sinew or something. All right. Ugh. My feet are a little dirty. More. Become completely aware of the, oh yeah, I've already one. You are free in this moment. You are as free as you'll ever be right here in this moment. That's true, right? You'll never be more free than you are right now. And again, that is like a reminder of the whole fractal of like stories. I sometimes tell myself the story of like, oh, if only I had more monies, if only I had a car, if only I had this and that and the other, then I'll be more free. Actually, you're as free as you'll ever be right now in this moment. Yeah. There is absolutely nothing that can separate you from God. I do like that one too. Love requires no effort. You just have to allow it to flow from the depth of your being and let it shine through you. I can love the world. I do not need a stimulus to elicit a loving response. There is nothing you can wait for that will bring you the love that you already have inside you. And say this to someone. I need about 15 seconds of your time. I know you've never met me, but I was sitting here and remembering that the truth is true always. And I am here to remind you that you are loved by God. You have never failed. You have never done anything wrong. You remain pure and innocent even now, and I just wanted to give you my blessings. Have a nice day. All right, and you might feel some way. You might hear that and be like, oh, no, Melt, I've done bad things. And you give me like this little list. And then I'm like, nope, I don't believe you. Doesn't seem like wrongdoing to me. Seems like a human story. Seems like a perspective. Seems like the world would tell you such and such and such. There is only one purpose for all dimensions of creations to be: the extension of the old love. Your treasure is your reality, is the unlimited, holy, and only begotten child of God. We live in a world where we get used to things being conditional. Ooh. A condition needs to be met before the body stops being hungry, or the cold, for example. We start to believe as a result that conditions need to be met before there can be a choice for peace, instead of war, forgiveness instead of judgment, for love instead of fear. Therefore, we think when the conditions outside of us change, then we'll make the choice for love. We can harness the choice for love from our depth right now. Be thankful for every moment, for you get to be the blessing that blesses this world. Yeah, I love these so much. Remove all that hinders your path to love. Everything in creation contains the perfect love of God. The rocks, the leaves, the feathers, even the people shouting in the background. God is but love. If you stopped living in that love, you would cease to exist. This because love is that you are. In other words, you cannot separate yourself. You couldn't, right? And if you manage to, you just get Thanos snapped yourself out of existence. One more. The human mind tends to believe that once it names a thing, it knows it. This is the smugness of the egoic knowledge. Yeah, you think you know? Wrong. There you go. There's some Ankh wisdom for you. That wasn't Ankh. That was like, I don't know what his name is. He doesn't really say his name. He writes these books. It's called The Way Of. Let me show you. Let me show you. The Way of Wisdom, Lesson 1. Yeah, there they are. This is the way of mastery, right? And he doesn't really say his name. He doesn't take credit for it. Like, these books, they're so good. They're like really good. Like, you should go and absorb them. Suck them up with your mind brain. They'll make you feel some things. They're profound. They're very nice to say it in so many words as well. There's this deep sense of like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, Mr. Unk. We have River Coon here as well, sending you blessings, dear friend. Such a pleasure having you. I need chocolate drinks before going to sleep. You should try and not consume calories before you go to sleep. Any calorie you consume, your body is going to have to process. And every calorie you have to process, your body will not be spending helping you gain more restfulness in your sleep state. But that is just my 2 cents. You can do as you wish. Also a petition for Melt to use. Once, a long time ago, in my time, love was true. People were willing to help one another. Plants were thriving in the sunlight. Wait a second, that's today. When we choose to be. Presently. Yeah, there you go, Sam. There you go. These things never go away. I do find myself sentimentally holding on to things. Yes, the book of things worth saying. A good book is a good book. Some good things worth saying, right? And again, just saying those things, all of those things that have been said, You might not agree with all of them, but they're worth saying, right? They deserve to be out here in the world. They deserve to be heard by your ear holes. Lovely Sam. Hope all is well with the little one, and of course with everyone. Little dude is getting big, I bet. So much love. Your message coming through at 444 as well. Hendrik saying, I got myself a nice wine yesterday. It's breathing right now. I'm usually not a wine or generally an alcohol type of person, but this one tastes just amazing. I'm happy that it tastes good, right? That there is still love to be extracted from that perspective at the very least. The truth is, I'm single and lonely. That is the truth of many people in the world right now, Zawad. Learning how to love yourself is going to be the most influential, impactful lesson to learn, right? Really getting good at loving yourself, getting good at being comfortable in your own company, right? Getting good at being okay with loneliness, right? There's a difference between being lonely and being alone, right? When you can really embrace the energy of being alone and you can find a deep sense of connection and comfort within that experience, it's good. Feels nice, right? There's a certain power to that experience. So what I feel you. I'm married to my job. Jeeps. Me neither. But a dry Cabanera every now and then again makes me feel fancy and smooth. I have more screen time per day than female interaction per month. I think that's pretty much every person on planet Earth right now, right? Even women. They probably don't even give themselves as much time as they give to their screens, right? Because it's like screen time, screen time, screen time, being at work, screen time, and then sleepy, sleepy. So we're going back home, making food, screen time, sleeping, and then again next day, so much screen time. I think the average screen time per person on planet Earth is already like 7 hours right now. That's a lot. I hope that the screen time you're giving me right now brings you a sense of things worth saying, right? Some significance beyond just the normal churn of existence. Oh, no. Zawad, my last relationship, I think I missed a few. Exactly, Joe and Kuhn, like-minded people are in most manners. We usually say, of course. My last relationship is so long ago. You were probably in elementary school when it ended. I feel your pain, but you are the only person who can change that for you. Also true, right? And if I had to give advice, I would give the advice of do the things that you love to do, right? Show up in the places that you love doing things, right? And if you actually actively do that over and over again, eventually you'll find the person that you are supposed to love, right? I love doing this, and I kept showing up to love doing this over and over again. And then the person that I now love found me through that medium. And now we found each other connecting and coming together because of that, showing up for love, right? Showing up for this loving space and the energy therein. So what? Keep working on yourself. Yeah, try to be your best self. The rest will come by itself. Exactly. One of the best things, one of the most attractive things in a person, not even in a man or a woman, is confidence, right? And confidence is essentially this self-assuredness, right? That, yeah, in fact, I am lovable. In fact, I am good for this world. In fact, I am taking care of things. I am worthy of my existence, right? And just having that I am is attractive, right? And that's all you really need. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter how much money you have. It matters whether or not you believe in yourself in the first place, right? How is someone else supposed to love you? How is someone else supposed to believe in you if you are not even willing to give that to yourself, right? It's like a hypocrisy kind of thing. And if you believe that, if only someone would love me, then I would start loving myself, then you are sitting the toilet mess. Kind of like, bro, where is Henry? I think the Matrix attacked him and we need to save him. Help me, bro. Bro, I don't know, dude. That's the thing about these streams is I show up every day in this same space. Oh, Stephen G. You dude. Stephen G. I've been thinking about you so much, bro. I've been doing this thing and I wish I knew you more so I could be like a little bit more directed because like what I'm literally doing when I'm in my meditations, I go, I'm imagining Stephen G having the best life ever. Right? Especially this week, with the amount of significance that you've been applied. Hey, Booze, saying hi to Hendrik, Stephen G, yo, 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 bless you, dude. Yeah, yeah, bless Stephen G. Can we all just collectively imagine Stephen G living in a castle, right? Capable of driving Ferraris, but having so much money they think it's tacky. Man, like, Ferraris. So much love. Thank you, dear friend. Yeah, I think we also then. Oh, yeah, I did say I'll do a little dance, right? If we did hit the goal. I didn't intend for you to be the one that actually does that, but. There we go. Little dance gedanced. I'm looking forward to this coming Wednesday. It's going to be fun getting to dance alongside you friends. All right, Stephen G. Yeah, just absolutely blessing us with so much love. Thank you, friend. Think I missed a bunch of comments up top. They with the Matrix gonna interpret such a message in my way. Being single is a blessing in many ways. It gives us the opportunity to understand ourselves, our expectations, our own needs, and our ability to embrace individuality. Codependence can be harmful. Like, I want to add to that because that is such wisdom that our beloved Joe Poe has just shared. It can be especially harmful when you don't understand yourself, when you don't understand your expectations, when you don't know how to meet your own needs, and when you don't have the ability to embrace your individuality, right? Because codependence, uh, like again, I think there is value in coming together and supporting one another, right? Because there are parts of reality that you can stand in and fill up that the other person might have a hard time with, right? And in that way, both of you can live a fuller life because you're standing in for one another. But if you don't know what it is you need, what it is you expect, what it is you want to embrace as an individual, you might just end up having that person fill in for you things that you don't understand, right? And it can cause this sense of frustration. It can cause this sense of disillusionment. It can cause this sense of hatred between each other because you expect things that this other person doesn't even know. You might be expecting things without even knowing it, right? You might have these expectations not being met because you don't even understand yourself or what it is you're looking for. And then you project onto that person a sense of unhappiness, or you feel unhappy in that relationship because you don't understand stuff about yourself. And then you assign that unhappiness to them. Be like, it's your fault. It's your fault for me feeling bad. And if only you were better, then I would be. Right? And it's this blaming, finger pointing, right? And it locks you up, it makes you close up. If you can stay vulnerable, if two people can stay vulnerable with one another, you can solve any problem, literally. You can show up for one another indefinitely, and you can hold space for one another that will actually help. I don't think truth can be found in books, to be honest. I believe that too. For me, my core fundamental truth is love, right? And in that way, love is always found inside yourself first, right? No person can make you love, right? That love can exist without a stimuli. It's very difficult for us to conceptualize that as normal people. And I'm saying normal people because we live in a society. So we have been normalized to believe certain things, right? Especially that love is something romantic. That's like the biggest lie we've been sold. Love is something universal. Love is something eternal. Love is something that permeates all existence, right? And then when a person comes into our life, that we almost have that love as like a focal point, right? We can become obsessed. We can like think that love only exists in that small little microcosm of that individual, when it is technically everywhere. It's just like a little lens. It's like a magnifying glass. There's a mosquito landing on my microphones. Let's see if I can murder him. Please come here. Missed it. Hey, mosquito is looking for me. It's probably smelling my breath or something. Did you know they look for carbon dioxide? Yeah, creatures. Uh, just one way to look at loneliness. I appreciate you sharing that perspective. And again, Shadow Monarch, I agree with love can't be found in books. Love can only be found in yourself. However, you can find yourself having that love in yourself arise for a character in a book or for a statement, for a sentiment that is shared, right? And I think in that way, we can also gain a love from our external world as well. I think it's not mutually exclusive. I think love can exist without a stimulus, but I think it helps having one, right? So, yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still growing more enlightened, more wise every day. One of these days, I'll be able to float. Please, please let me meditate hard enough so I can fly. I would love that so much. Exactly, good. And love is like a fart. If you force it too much, it's going to be shit. That's a good saying, Hendrik. Crude, but accurate. Hendrik, 100%. Very important to remember. The love felt for others is love you cultivate within your own awareness first. It's easy to externalize it in a projection, but love starts with you. My beloved Jovan, how nice it is to love someone so wise. This is my old friend. Hey, Akash. It's nice having you here, old friend. Thank you for joining us. Do find yourself a place to sit, make yourself comfortable. We're here for one another. Hendrik, is that Shakespeare? Mojo. Bro, you screwed. I think you need some coffee. I did have some coffee today. I feel good. I do feel like I didn't sleep enough. I slept, let me see. Yeah, I slept like 8 hours. That's enough. Ah. Huh? I think I was in bed for 8 hours, but I actually slept 7. But this thing tells me I have an excellent sleep score for the most part. I did lay very still for a long time. I was like, okay, any second now, I'm going to be sleeping. Any second now. And then I wasn't. And then I ended up putting some yoga nidra on, and then I got actually knocked out within 20 minutes. I really did appreciate that. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I think that's from Hamlet. Whoopie Perdupters, always remember what Avicii said. What did Avicii say? Hello, Mama. The mango slices. Nice. I think the average time is normal. Why should we have a problem with saying that? The average time? Like, as in time, as in spent? Like, the average time spent is something that is normal? I don't think we're saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that we should realize that even something that could be considered normal is also significant, right? To almost like bring it back to this perspective of like meditation, that many of us might only apply significance to grandeur, right? To doing something great, to impressing someone, right? Like maybe it's only significant if you can do a backflip, when it's just as significant if you can spend 5 minutes in silence, looking at a tree, right? And I feel like that's what we're talking about. It's more like realizing that you're the one that applies significance. And you can space out and look at that tree and find absolutely no significance in it. You might be thinking about a bunch of other stuff in the background, right? Without even taking that moment to appreciate how significant this thing is that's right in front of you. I love that Melt transformed his body and celebrates the body of illuminated existence. I feel like that's a nice compliment. Thank you. I like it too. My body has been transformed. I have been so many different people in this space, and I probably will be many more different people continuing forward. Right? Maybe I'll become a body of unilluminated existence, and then I'll be like, I don't like this, and then I'll illuminate my existence, and then I'm like, this is so bright, I need to put on shades, and then my existence will be unilluminated again, and then back and forth, back and forth. If I don't count work and your streams, my daily screen time is like 30 minutes. This doom scrolling thing a lot of people do went right over my head. I also don't do the doom scrolling thing. Hendrik. I'm very, very lucky. I feel like it missed us just, right? I got into YouTube pretty young, around the age of 7, right? So it's always been about like longer form content for me. And I always did appreciate YouTube. One of the very first channels that I ever subscribed to is Smarter Every Day, right? And I love, still do, I love Smarter Every Day, right? It's an awesome channel. Every time I see a video, his videos are a little bit longer these days, so it's a little bit more of a commitment. But again, I get to learn stuff. And I really value that experience of getting to educate myself, discover things about the world that I might not have known if not for that YouTube video. And the whole doom scrolling thing, where it's like one TikTok, I don't have TikTok on my phones at all, right? I don't do TikTok at all. Like one TikTok video after another, where like you're 10 TikTok videos in, and like there's no recollection in your brain. There's no memory of what happened 10 TikToks ago, right? There's just this putting yourself on a dopamine drip, essentially. Eyes go cross-eyed, tongue hangs out of your mouth. I'm not saying that's what actually happens, but it's kind of like that turn your brain off experience. And I feel like, again, we got lucky into the point where some people start that way, right? Like that's the very first screen experience they have. When I started using screens, that experience simply did not exist, right? It was kind of a newer development. So I did, however, find 9gag as a 14-year-old, right? And 9gag was essentially Reddit back in the day. I guess Reddit also existed, but it was Reddit for images, right? So it was like 9 little funny meme-based images, and then you would hit the refresh button at the bottom of the page, and then it would create again 9 images, right? That's why it was called 9gag. And I enjoyed it, right? I feel like that was the closest to doom scrolling I really ever got. And these days, I still do use Reddit, for example. However, Reddit for me is like comment based, where I'll see like something, and then I'll go into the comments, and then I'll see what people say about the something. And then I'll see what people say about the something that was said, and then I'll see what people said about the something that was said about the something that they said, right? And then after I did that for like 3 different instances, I usually find myself satiated with what people are thinking. And then I get to almost like base and peg my own thinking against what the common sentiment is. And interestingly enough, especially with Reddit these days, I find myself not agreeing. Always. More and more often than not, I don't. And that causes me a sense of like, how about that? So yeah, I think it is a matter of, he's being a little cutie patootie. Mom is like he's a little lap sitting dog. This stream brought to you by Steven G Fuel. I I did have some G Fuel. Actually, when Jovan came over, she brought me some G Fuel because I asked for some. Because again, I've seen so many advertisements, and I'm a PewDiePie fan as well. So many advertisements for freaking G Fuel that I wanted to try some at some point, and it's really nice. I won't lie. I'm not sponsored, of course, but I enjoyed it. I've already consumed all of mine. Bro is buffering. I'm buffering. Checked out. Check back in. Let's hope it's even more clear right now. I imagine him on his own bat cave. Yeah, bat cave of green, outside with no bats. Nisha, sending you blessings, friends. Nice having you here. My mind is clear, my body is able, and I'm quite fine. How are you, Fred Nisha? That's nice. Supporting silence. You're asking me to support silence? Silence, bro. I spend most of my day in silence. I think maybe also don't consider most of my day is spent in silence. And then I come to this space, and then it is conversational because that's the point. All right. I can be right. I can be like that. But again, you'll be like, oh, okay. And I was like still trying to add some layer of entertainment by giving you some communications with me face, right? And if I just go, all right, like even a few seconds hurts. I can feel my soul starting to scream, like it just got locked in a cage. All right. Oh, Joe, that is beautiful phrasing of your well being. I'm gonna steal that. My mind is clear, my body is able, and I am quite fine. So much love. Do take that with you. You have to do more than find your metaphor. I don't know if I'm metaphoring. What is metaphor again? And little dove is coming up closer. Hey, little dove. I'm gonna quickly use the flash model. Define metaphor. A metaphor is a figure. A metaphor is a figure of speech that directly compares two unlike things while using like or as. It states that one thing is another, even though literally it is not. Unlike implied comparison, unlike a smile which states a comparison, brave like a lion. A metaphor implies it. He is a lion. Yeah, I am. Non literal meaning. The comparison is not quite to be taken literally. A person isn't actually a lion, but they possess, excuse me, lion like qualities, like courage or strength. Transfer of qualities. A metaphor transfers the inherent qualities of one thing, the vehicle, to another, the tenure. Enrichment of language. Metaphors adds richness, imagery, imagery, and emotional depth to language, making it more evocative and memorable. The classroom was a zoo. Wasn't actually a zoo, but the kids with their chaotic, and noisy behavior was zoo-like. He had a heart of gold. If his heart was actually gold, he'd probably drop dead. Life is a journey, not a destination. Comparing life to a trip, especially the process and experiences. The politician's speech was a firestorm of criticism, comparing intense criticism to a destructive fire. Yeah, that's some value. Yeah. I like metaphor, right? I don't know if I use that much metaphor. I think I do like to almost create more perspective, right? I'll use metaphor as a means to give our mind something to hook onto. Because again, we as people tell stories. Like that's the best way for us to kind of convey information. But I rarely do like make them as definitive statements. I give it to you willingly, no need for thievery. You gotta melt always. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Hey, Bladams. Nice having you too. Seen Cable lately? No, haven't seen Cable in a while. The average screen time is meant to forget is not to erase, but to release the embrace, but to release, embrace the lesson, let go the pain, and move forward with a heart unburdened. Yeah. Love you. It's gotta run. Love you, Xiao. Holding you close. Dustin from Smarter Every Day is a great person. He really is. He has like kids. I mean, his kids were like babies, literal infant babies at the time I started watching them. And now they're people, all right? They're people. Dustin is so cool. I'm so happy that you know Smarter Every Day as well, Stephen G. I'm not surprised that we share that synchronicity too. We have had our brains so expanded, right? I think one of my favorite Smarter Everyday videos is the one where he was talking about like the mirror thing, where something is always the same size in a mirror, no matter how far you get from it. Like it might look smaller, but if you put something against the mirror, like your hand, for example, and you trace your hand on that mirror, right? And then you move back further and further and further and further, right? Your hand stays in the outlines that you made on that mirror, right? When I saw him explain that to me, it broke my brain. I was like, what? I'm still to this day, it doesn't make sense to me. But it does at the same time, right? Light being having its linearity, especially when it comes to the mirror. It's so cool. There's so many stuff that he did. The Prince Rupert drop, I really did enjoy that as well. Uh, he's been doing a lot of slow mo stuff these days. I really did enjoy the submarine episodes that he did as well. He's been going down like the military rabbit hole, and I've said this to you, friends, where I don't really like talking about the military stuff. But again, the way that he does it is he makes it a human story. Like he shows you the people. He shows you the level of depth that goes into keeping people safe, keeping them alive, making sure they stick around for what it is they're actually there for. Bless you again, Stephen. Man, knowing that we share that fractal makes me happy. What a wonderful day, Joe. Catch you tomorrow. Love is true. Hoopy was here when Melt said, I get to learn stuff. It's true. I really do. I'm so lucky. Right? We do live in an age where we get to learn stuff instead of just numbing our brains into non existence. I have you running on my TV and mobile at the same time. Boom. I'm gonna upvote my own stream right now, just with that in mind. Boom. Boom. Look at us gaming the algorithm. I appreciate it. You sweetie, sweetie. I love that sound of silence. Calm down, Simba. You mighty lion. Bro, the fact that you compare me to Simba, I legit, bro. I like knew that was me as a kid. I was like, yeah, bro. They made a TV show just for me. Man, the mosquitoes are circling me, bro. I can see them. You should be dead. It's freaking winter. Can you die, please? Please, mosquitoes, please. Please drop dead. I'm being mean. I'm sorry. The freaking mosquitoes. Freaking mosquitoes. All right. I don't know. I love the sound of silence. Hendrik, you said catch you tomorrow. Why are you still here? He said catch you tomorrow to Jovan. No, no, no. Be more clear next time. He was. He said, have a wonderful day, Joe. Catch you tomorrow. Like how much more clear can you be? All right. Maybe you should say Joe again after. Like maybe that could be added clarity. Haters gonna hate. Bro. I said have a wonderful day, Joe. Yeah, after she said she's gotta go. Doesn't me and Hendrik being like, "Well, how many the clarities. All right. Please accept my apology. Apology accepted. No problem. A little misunderstanding is just an opportunity to communicate and set things straight and thereby learn on both sides. Isn't that the truth? Love is true. What a nice stream this has been. We have applied our significance. I think there's a little bit more for me to read. Just a little bit more, right? Has this significance been explored before? Endlessly. Poets, mystics, scientists all drink from the same well. Mystics like Rumi, Teresa of Avila, or Ramana Maharishi speak of the divine in the mundane. Every breath, every stone, every little doggo as a love letter from the infinite. Romantic poets like the Wordsworth, like Wordsworth or Blake, saw nature not as scenery but as revelation. Blake famously wrote, to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. And modern science, even, oddly enough, give us tools for significance too. When we know the age of a crystal, the symbiosis of a fungi and trees, the millions of years encoded in a bone, it opens a dimension of awe that science can share. That mosquito did not stand a chance. My ultra fast reflexes. Ultimately, significance isn't out there, it's in here. It's a mirror of your awareness. The more conscious you are, the more you can see significance everywhere. That's the sacred gift of being human. We are the meaning makers. I like that. Our capacity to see meaning is the same capacity that creates love, compassion, art, and reverence. So maybe the deeper question isn't what is significance, but rather what would happen if I treated everything as if it were. And in doing so, we find that the world always responds in kind. Yeah. Isn't that nice? You are significant, dear friend. I hope you know. I hope you feel that as the truth of your reality every day. Which country are you from? Melt, by the way, did you already know that scientists found out after someone showed them the exit? Did you already know that scientists found out after someone showed them the exit? Oh, they found out when someone showed them the exit. It was a pretty bad joke. Uh, I love your salute. Then a special person. You have a small one. Oh, please, Moon Knight. Gee, I started reading that message and it's just like the concern. Like, so much concern. The fires from Stephen G. Let me show you today's flower. It does technically have like little fires inside of it. La la. There it is. Can I get my arm back, please? Thank you. Look at those little fires. You see that? I should. Another mosquito. Yeah, they think. They think. They think they can eat me without punishment? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Uh, was it this one? It was this one. This one was yours, Stephen G. Also has fiery energy. All right. I'm happy that you laugh at me slaying. That's then you know he was Austrian, not German, Moon. Yeah. Yeah. Getting fact checked. It's true. He was Austrian indeed. I didn't actually write a piece of poetry for this flower. I didn't talk about much, so I didn't know if I could say more. And we did technically talk about what we talked about again today. And it goes, the world is only as beautiful as you see it. I see you in everything, loving you more than I can say. When you're Indian, right? Up Kishan. A small, literally demented Austrian caused the delusion of grandeur, substance abuse problems, and an inability to portray emotion through his art. I don't even know if it was portraying emotion. His art was kind of bad. Like his lines were not right. And he was completely devoid of people, right? There was like a lack of personality, unfortunately, right? And back in the day, they were pretty critical of what art was supposed to be, right? My art is technically devoid of people too, admittedly. It's too bright, but it is. It is a little pretties. There's another mosquito. You wanna like go number 3, bro? I've already slayed some of your friends. Missed that one. Squeezy, squeezy, this dude below me. Sam could have chosen to speak any language, but she decided to speak facts. Yeah. So much substance abuse. Like, there's videos of him being at the Olympics, absolutely tweaking his mind off. Probably eating his inside of his lips or something. Yeah, there was a lot more wrong with good old Lither than we know, right? We can only know in part. One more time and then I'll say goodbye to you, friends. Gorgeous pieces always. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friends, for joining me. We have come to the end of today's live stream. We have shown ourselves the significance of this reality by seeing it in one another. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me, for finding yourself so comfortable, for joining me in moments like these. Yeah, for being little peepsels. Have a good one, everyone. You too, dear Stephen G. Sending you the goodest little ear scritches. So much lovins. I appreciate you, Fred. It's a really interesting process, not gonna lie. Yesterday, I watched some of your member videos about how the pieces are made. Yeah, just a little bit of a sneak peek. You get to see the behind the scenes. Man, dogs and their mouths. Jeeps. I'm happy that you enjoy the process too. It's nice making them. It really is a process. Making mandalas is a spiritual practice. Some people make them out of sand and then they gather that sand and they pour it in rivers. Why are you doing this to me? He asks. Just for fun, no, just a little. Have a good one, friend. I'll see you again soon. I hope you have a beautiful day until we have another one. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers. Bye bye.